So the food thing is actually primary, because you are what you eat actually trumps everything else. Through you are what you eat, through acting on that and really taking it out to its appropriate level that you can today, what you discover is all of a sudden you start breathing fresher air because you start knowing what fresh air is. You start desiring living water because you have a sense of what living water actually is. You start behaving in a way that's responsible and ethical and moral in your relationships, because inside your body, by presenting the living foods, you're loving yourself more, and therefore you're loving others more. My personal belief is that you are what you eat trumps them all. It trumps everything. In fact, you can ask any single person in the world about the phrase you are what you eat. They've all heard it. They all know it. You ain't going to find any other phrase in the world that's more powerful than that or more well known. That to me means something. I look at you are what you eat as the zip file we were gifted when we were incarnated into the world. Specifically what to do with you are what you eat, because you know, all of us without exception grew up on a disturbed diet and distorted diet. Even traditional diets, well, rich mineralized diets are disturbed and distorted. They have nothing to do with what's natural because of fire. They've been heated, they've been cooked. That's amazing to just come to that place, that even traditional diets, which are hundreds of times better than what we're at now, still, that's not there either. You know, to be able to second question and go, you know what, even the old ways ain't the right ways. They're better than what we have now, but even that's not right. It's really important. It's really important to have that ability. And what we need to do is we need to take the best of the old ways and what's been discovered now, recombine it. And when we recombine it, we realize that our strategy of eating changes to this. We cannot force ourselves to change our diet. We cannot read a book that says through willpower you will make it happen, because as soon as you tell a child, don't look at the third cabinet on the right there, don't open that third cabinet on the right, as soon as you're not looking, they'll be looking in the third cabinet on the right. See, inner child, as soon as you say, don't eat that, that's bad for you, every adult is going to go, okay, as soon as you're not looking, they're going to be eating that food that's bad for them. It's a thrill, right? It's like, why do we have a drug problem? Because drugs are illegal. That's the problem. As soon as you say no, the inner child says yes. So how do we say yes to everything? This is called cracking the diet code. And what we do is we just add it in. We don't even get into denying ourselves of anything. We forget about all that entirely. We add in all of the great cornucopia of raw foods, superfoods, super herbs, and chocolate, to the point where it's so good and we're so nourished and it tastes so good that why in the world would you want to have the other stuff? And that causes a permanent transformation in someone's diet. They don't want the other stuff because it doesn't taste good. It's not nourishing. It has no minerals in it. Why in the world would you want to eat that? That's why people say, you've been doing this on willpower? No, are you kidding? Willpower for 15 years? Someone's going to crack after a year. Almost everyone will crack within 2 years, no matter how disciplined they are. It's got to be pleasurable. You got to love it. And how do you love it? Well, you just got to try the stuff that you love. What can you love? What's in there? What is there to love? Chocolate's something to love. There's superfoods like goji berries. Kids eat that and they go, I love it. I want it. Mommy, I want that. I want that. Now, there's also the entire cornucopia of different things we get to add in. By the way, add is our new ADD. Whenever you hear ADD, it means I'm going to add in the best food ever. Somebody says, that person has ADD. Great. All it means is that person gets to add in the best foods ever. What is it? What are we going to add? Where do we start? Because tomorrow morning we're going to wake up and go, what do we do first? We add in fruits. We add in vegetables. We add in nuts. All raw, all organic. Raw organic fruits, raw organic vegetables, raw organic nuts. We add in raw organic seeds. We add in raw organic seaweeds. We add in raw organic grasses, like wheatgrass, which we know is a grass, but I'm a wild grass eater. You know, really it's just super fun. You know, you just are open to so many things when you understand grasses. Raw organic sprouts, we add that in. Raw organic herbs, we add that in. Raw organic superfoods, we add that in. Raw organic fermented foods, sauerkrauts, those kinds of things, we just add that in. We find the ones that we like, and we start there. You don't like lettuce? No problem, there's plenty to eat. You don't like grapes? Great, we've got plenty of other things. You don't like cabbage? No problem, plenty of things to eat. You don't like seaweed? No problem, we got other things to eat. Over the whole picture, when we start adding things like that in, what happens is we realize, whoa, it's way easier than I thought. In fact, what I thought was far has always been very close. I love the quote, "The Titanic was built by experts, the Ark by amateurs." What is seemingly so complicated and sophisticated and far away is not that at all. It's right there, it's right next to you. It's always been right next to you. And it becomes completely easy once you have a code that can crack you out of kind of a dietary idea of like, you can't eat this, don't ever eat this is good for you, that's bad. Once we crack out of that, we just go, oh, wait a second, it's all good, and let's get it to be better. And in fact, where are we going? To the best ever. That's where it's leading us. We're adding in, again, just to recap, because this is where we can take a little bit of a note. We're adding in raw organic fruits, raw organic vegetables, raw organic nuts, seeds, seaweeds, grasses, sprouts, herbs, and superfoods, as well as sauerkrauts and other fermented foods. If we can take in pieces of that and just do it right away, we're going to have remarkable results. If we do two things first, we're going to have extremely remarkable results. Start with superfoods first, because they'll actually start getting your neurotransmitters working, nourishing you with protein, really getting things like happening, and vegetable juices freshly made. If you do those two things first, you're going to get results so fast you're going to hardly believe it. In a month's time, you'll go, what's going on? In 4 months' time, you'll actually start stepping into like mastery of it, where you're like, whoa, my identity is actually not of what I used to be, it's I'm a raw foodist, because you feel how good it makes you feel. You feel the transformation in your consciousness, you feel where it can take you, and you feel where you were before, and you're like, I don't want to feel like that anymore.